Hello, this is Melissa R. Cody from Photonics Dimensional Art. This presentation is titled 7D Photonic Art, which features nature, Easter eggs, and mandalas as part of our Spring Collection 2023. As explained in a previous video, Architectural over Unity Artistic Concepts, all digital art images produced by Cavetronics, like these fishy Easter eggs, are created by combining the scientific formula for overunity by Brian D. Prater with various artistic concepts, medium, subject, and so on into AI graphics software. These narrated videos are meant to be a new medium for the public to understand somewhat difficult science through art. The goal for this art and these videos is that hopefully people may gain a renewed understanding of the world and reality we live in through these discussions of art. There is a lot of controversy these days over AI, artificial intelligence programs, which I would like to address at length through this presentation of light art. The original title of this presentation was Photonic Light Art. However, it is redundant to say photonic light because light is made of photons. Let's get our ducks in a row when it comes to AI. AI is a tool which is pretty good for math and science from my experience. However, it fails when it comes to real world understanding, such as ducks. AI does not really know what a duck looks like, and sometimes it mixes chicken feet on ducks, as you will see later. Currently, I am using four types of AI, two of which are readily available to the public, such as ChatGPT and the art-generated software programs that help me make these. When using the software, I include my husband's formula and a subject matter, for example, orchids, crystals, and flowers, as seen here. These orchids really have a lot of character. I like working with them. To give you an idea of what AI can do and what it cannot, I am going to read you some AI generated poetry and let you decide. Starting with a limerick for the upcoming St. Patrick's Day. This is an AI poem. There once was an engineer prater who had a concept to expand later, a harmonic loop back to use more of the environment and energy from harmonic expansion. It's a self-sustaining system that's greater. Here's another example of AI poetry. There once was an engineer called Prater who was working on energy much later. He came up with a plan to maximize what he can and create a self-sustaining over unity generator. Those were the two best of about a dozen limericks that AI generated about my husband's work. In my opinion, AI lacks too much to be considered an Irish poet. For this presentation, to highlight light itself, all black was removed from the AI generated images, which are currently made into transparencies and overlaid on background colors other than black, so that the only black you see in this presentation is the current YouTube subscriber button as seen on YouTube, which I think was originally red in color as an interesting aside. We believe there is something special about these images which are generated with overunity in their formula, and that is the effect that they have on people and animals. Both people and animals seem to be captivated and soothed by them. Considering what is passing for art these days, even in comparison with other AI generated art from the mind streams of people, generally speaking, in society, These images are rare for their beauty, math, and subject material, such as the multidimensional mandala on the left and photonic orchids on the right. On the left, these orchids seem to be putting on a show, as usual. These crazy ladies are accented by crystals and a watery mandala to the right. In working with Prater's over unity formula and AI art, I find that the subjects sometimes take on a life of their own, so to speak. It is said that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it is true that people do have different preferences. Yet we believe that the human brain is also wired to receive beauty in a manner that is rather scientific and less abstracted through opinion. Prater's formula creates the perfected dispersal of color while retaining the overall shape of the subject in these 7D photonic over unity mandalas as seen on the right, and on the left the swirling action is a common wave pattern seen in the science of magnetics, which Prater refers to as spintronics. Some subjects are easier to blend over Unity and AI art more than others. In this slide, the normal webbed feet of the ducks are corrupted by their multidimensional touch points, so to speak. Flowers like these orchids are also rearranged to conform to over Unity. In this slide to the right, orchids appear to be singing along to the musical notes, which are below them. Or at least that is what it looks like to me as I analyze the art. However, I can ascertain that singing orchids and musical notes were not in the equation. I really want to dispel some of the confusion over AI. Like anything, it can be used for good or bad. And we at Cavetronics have been fighting the bad for many decades. From the first time I heard about AI, I wanted to work with it, and nowadays I'm excited to be able to do just that. At the same time, social media is abuzz with all kinds of hype, of which I think is overrated. Last year, in October 2022, I was interviewed by Carrie Cassidy of Project Camelot concerning AI being used in online education, which is available at projectcamelotportal.com or on her Rumble channel for Project Camelot. In that interview, I discussed how I discovered that my online college classrooms were full of AI bots, both as students and at least one teacher. One of the many problems in online education now is that AI is being used to complete homework assignments and participate in online classroom discussions. Combined with what seemed like bot names, in my opinion, it was the discussions that tipped me off that AI was used to generate the content rather than humans. And many of the so-called students were fraudulent accounts set up to bilk money from the system, is what I found from my research. 2 months after that interview, in December 2022, for my business, communications, and networking classwork, I submitted 2 term papers on this subject of AI in online education, which are linked in this video's description if you would like to read them. They provide details on how Facebook and other social media are filled with AI bots that engage with humans like you. Most often this occurs to quell public debates over controversial issues, which is a divisive tactic under the category of censorship that employs strategic distortions of reality. If people do not know what is really happening and that AI is being used, they can be deceived by interjection of subversive narratives. So it should be noted that people are interacting with AI nowadays, whether they realize it or not. That is an example of how AI can be used for bad purposes. And considering the limitations of I don't recommend it for schoolwork. However, I have heard some commentators say it could help writing content for web pages or books, but only to remove some writer's block and offer suggestions, because so far AI's ability to write is just as absent-minded as its knowledge of the real world we humans live in. AI can generate an output that is based on its input. Therefore, the more input an AI is given, the wider variety of an output it is able to produce. In this slide to the right, we see a multidimensional gyroscopic mandala opening showing its inner forms. Considering that AI generates output based on what it knows, let's look at another poem by ChatGPT. For another fun example of AI poetry, this is a basic rhyming poem about over unity, also sometimes called pre-energy. O over unity, we strive for thee. Your power we desire to be free. From the grid we wish to be apart, and with you our electric dreams to start. Your promise of clean renewable energy is something we all wish to see. A way to power our homes without pollution. For our future, that is our solution. Your potential is something we must find, working together no longer behind. Let us work together to bring forth a new dawn, where electricity is free and our planet is reborn. ChatGPT. From my experience using ChatGPT, I have learned that it may write over Unity poetry, but it is programmed to reject the truth of it when it comes to direct questions or essays. In fact, even as I fed it links to scientific papers, asking for it to provide a synopsis of the content from those web pages, it would label them as hate speech, criminal activities, and adult content. So there appears to be more at work than just an AI software when it comes to ChatGPT, which was started by Google, which is controlled by Homeland Security. I may do a video with screenshots of my experiments with ChatGPT as it concerns over Unity science later on. But for now, it seems as if the AI art is more my speed. I find it a relief to look at and analyze these pretty pictures from otherwise very ugly world conditions. Like many of you, in the past couple of years, my husband's family lost 9 members, and many other family and friends have died of mine also. You may be able to relate to these things, and if so, please subscribe to this channel because we need each other to get through these crises on Earth. All things considered, it seemed like a good idea for me and everyone else to create this new over Unity artwork and offer it for free to spread some good energy into this world. And this trio has a lot of energy. It seems to flow elegantly from the left to the right, changing in its form in each version. As you can see by now, photonic art utilizes light as its medium. A description of light as photons from a 2016 article in Symmetry magazine titled 8 Things You Might Not Know About Light by Matthew R. Francis reads, light is made of particles called photons, which are bundles of the electromagnetic field that carry a specific amount of energy. According to Los Cumbre Observatory's website at lco.global, light behaves mainly like a wave, but it can also be considered to consist of tiny packets of energy called photons. Photons carry a fixed amount of energy, but they have no mass themselves. And it goes on to say the energy of a photon depends on its wavelength. The longer wavelength photons have less energy, and shorter wavelength photons have more energy. These are a couple of examples where photonic light was used alongside another medium, such as a colorful mineral called atomite, for example. Just to give you a comparison from this for a more realistic representation of matter versus pure light as the outline of the subjects. If you are enjoying this artwork on the subject of nature, you may also like a recent release titled In, Out, Over, and Around the Pond, featuring koi, carp, goldfish, and koi ponds. It is a silent video without narration that can be enjoyed as simply art with alternating pictures. However, some people want music or narration with the videos. In those cases, musical tastes are so various that it may require several videos using the same images while playing different genre of music, such as classical, techno, or sounds of nature. In this slide, it would be the sound of water, for example. Another thing is that some people want short videos and others want more lengthy ones. Furthermore, TikTok videos must be under 10 minutes, but YouTube's algorithms are better when people watch longer videos. Yet, from my perspective, both the silent and narrated videos represent a new type of art that is unique compared to the onslaught of terrible news. So I really hope you like this art and enjoy it as much as I do. The ducks in this presentation are part of a sneak peek into a sequel to In, Out, Over, and Around the Pond that I am still working on creating the images for at this time, and I don't know when that one will be out, but it is coming up in the near future. If you have trouble subscribing to this channel, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, no, there is a hang up in YouTube that won't allow subscribers to receive all notifications, which I am trying to work on at this time. The problem started due to designating these videos originally as made for kids. However, YouTube will not allow monetization of channels that have content made for kids. So I had to change that, and the system has a hang up currently with notifications on this channel. If you know how to overcome this problem, let me know in the comments. Thank you. As you may have realized by now, some of these images are overlaid on top of others, such as on the right, the Easter egg overlaps a running river showing Fourier transform movements in the wave actions under the egg. Working with light as the medium for art has been tried by photographers and other digital artists. Yet, in my opinion, these are some of the best representatives of photonic art available. If you would like to purchase any of these, please tell me the slide number and images 1, 2, or 3, reading from left to right in the comments section, and I can put it up for sale on Etsy for you to purchase. The slide number is available in the top right-hand corner. In this case, slide number 45 is near the photonic egg made with light, water, and the colors from the nature that it is embedded in. Thank you for sticking with me so far. Now it is time to discuss something even more important regarding AI, the science of over-unity, and where we are going as a society. AI is not the problem, but the way we weave it into our human matrix may become a problem. And some people claim that is currently our problem, of which there are some facts available to show the stock market and banking systems have been using AI to increase certain people's wealth. Other people claim that humanity has been controlled by an evil AI named Lucifer. In other outlandish ideas, other secretive organizations may be trying to track down a parallel dimension where they had an AI in control of it. The science of over-unity that we can see through this artwork is able to teach us the processes of division and unification, as I have spoken about in other narrated videos, such as egg gnosis, flaming Easter eggs from hell, and architectural over-unity artistic concepts, both available on this YouTube channel. And as I have stated in a previous video, society is at a crossroads where we must decide our path or paths forward, much like free will. We will each choose good or evil, just like we each choose what to focus on every day, whether it be the economy or art. Do you focus on fake wars with drug lords and thieves? Or would you rather look at Easter eggs and orchids like these? To be less poetic, ChatGPT provided an interesting motto for over unity, and it is seek over unity, find possibility. I recognize that we cannot and should not be like ostriches with our heads in the sand to the world around us, but we can monitor what we feed our minds. Just like the AI, our output mimics the input. Like the old saying goes, garbage in equals garbage out. In summary, I would like to say that it is important to protect our mind stream. AI is not going to take over our minds unless we allow it to limit us as humans rather than treat it like a program or tool. I hope this video has enriched you in some way. Lastly, I would like to end this presentation with an AI-generated haiku. Energy loop-back flows, expanding in its own medium. Over unity soars. If you find some relief or retreat through this artwork, and you would like to share it with a younger generation, I am also writing an illustrated storybook series titled A Clear Abstract Journey Through the Water Lily, which features Lily, a water lily, and her quantum adventures through 7D. Chapters 1 through 6 are currently available, and chapters 1 through 5 are narrated in its own video. See the playlist titled Lily Stream for all videos in the storybook series. To support this work, you can purchase digital art from Cavetronics Art on Etsy, which has a link available in our YouTube banner as shown here. Please also like, share, and subscribe to this channel to help our algorithms on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.